This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, October 22nd, 2021, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul. He's back after 4 shows off. Please welcome Derek Minor.
What up, baby?
Oh, man, we missed you, bud. I'm glad you're back.
Missed you guys,
You really
too.
did.
You look rested.
And
You look refreshed. I'm glad. I'm glad you had
Listen,
vacation.
all I know is I'm trying to figure out. All I know is I got tagged in a tweet with y'all on a duck boat, and on this splat, and I'm like, they just went off the rails while I was gone. No, there was nobody there to keep everything in check. I get it.
Yeah.
That was also after we informed you via text thread that this show has gone full wizard now. It's mostly a wizard talk.
Right.
And there's no going back. It's a lot of discussions of wizardry.
and joining us this week, sitting in for Jamie, who's out for the next 2 episodes, is our associate editor from East Texas. I can't even say the name of the town. I can't pronounce it. Please welcome downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Nagadoches.
There we go. Thank you.
Nagadot. Hey, that's what. Hey, look, that's my homie Emily from Nagadoches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to say it just like that.
Nagadoches. You gotta say it like
to
that.
see it spelled out, Nagadocious does not come to mind. I read English. And
You
it
just
it's
gotta be careful because you might get punched if you know what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
come off the wrong way. You put a R where an A should go or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
You might be in bad
Okay,
shape.
hey, Emily, help me out here regionally. Yeah, help me out. Yeah, careful.
I'm just saying, you just walk
Say it
lightly
slowly.
when you pronounce it Nagadoches. You know what I'm saying?
Enunciate, please. Enunciate. You know,
Use
say
all
yeah.
everything in your mouth to say it. You say it correctly. You know what I'm saying?
I just say East Texas. I just
You just
avoid it.
ignore,
Yeah,
you
East
just
Texas.
ignore the G. That's it. Just take out the G that's in Nacogdoches, which if you don't know how to spell it, like me saying that there's a G in the word Nacogdoches sounds weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But
I'm telling
just-
you, looking at the letters phonetically, it does not say Nacogdoches. When
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
name it, so I can't really be blamed. But
Yeah.
What is a Nacogdoches?
What is it?
Is it like a deer
No.
or is it a?
yeah, it's Caddo. So the story goes, there was the Caddo chief. He had 2 sons, Nacogdoches and Natchitoches, and he told one to go like 3 days east, one to go 3 days west. So there's Natchitoches in Louisiana and Nacogdoches in Texas.
No way.
So like Romulus and Remus.
There's a college in both towns. We have like a rival.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like what happened when Joseph Smith died and the Mormons got split between Brigham Young and King Strang. King Strang, they were fighting to take on the Mormon, kingdom, and Joseph Smith won, and King Strang
Mormon
went up.
kingdom.
Is that for real? Are you joking? Are you
No,
joking?
this is dead- dead true.
The Mormon kingdom?
So then Strang went up to Beaver Island in Michigan and declared it a sovereign land. He's the only person in American history to ever declare, to claim American soil as a sovereign nation. And he ended up living a crazy life. He led a cult. He was elected senator. He was murdered by his own followers, lived 10 more days. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway.
No, time out. You said he was murdered and then lived 10 more days?
Well, he was assassinated. He was shot point blank by his followers, lived 10 more days. And anyway, yeah. It's
I was
just
going to say,
crazy story.
is he Jesus? Like, I'm just, I'm trying to make sure that I got my house in order.
So listen, I know this story about this guy who declared he was the king of this invisible kingdom.
Yes.
Okay, but get this. Okay, after that, the religious figures of his day found him blameless, or the government, and then religious figures had the government kill him. Yep. And then he came back from the dead. There are some crazy stories
I
of that.
I heard that story too once.
Yeah, I'm related to him.
And he had this crazy thing. He wanted us to like love our enemies, not threaten them. I mean, this guy was really, Now, Emily, I have one question about this mythos from your region. So the story goes, there's a father and the two sons. He's it's a modern equivalent of if I walk in and my kids are fighting, I'm like, okay, break it up, you two. What's going on here? You go to your room. Nagadocious, you go for a 4-day walk and never see us again. It's like, whoa. This is, couldn't they have just gone, like it seems like a pretty intense sibling conflict that one was required to walk for what? You said 4 days?
I think it was 3 days. Okay, so first up, I was not raised in East Texas. I'm from Dallas. So this is told to me.
Oh, she said she had to let y'all know I'm from the Dirty D. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, got to clarify. But I have been here for 8 years, so I'm like an honorary. I hate this. We call them, if you're from NAC, you call yourself a NAC rat. I don't call myself a NAC rat because that's gross. But
yeah, that sounds nasty.
Yeah, nasty NAC. But
nasty NAC is what they call it.
Nasty NAC. That's kind of a hard little name, though. You know what I'm saying?
Nasty NAC.
I was going to say, for a town in East Texas that I haven't heard of up to now, they seem to have a pretty rich sort of like cultural identity.
We're the oldest town in Texas. So we celebrated like 300 years.
Meaning like the people who live there are the oldest, like
arguably,
citizens?
Yes. Arguably, yeah. There are a lot of old people here. But no, we are supposedly the oldest town in Texas. Again, I haven't fact checked this because I don't care enough, but yeah. I believe it to be true.
I live in a pretty historically rich area, right on, the coast of right at the mouth of Chesapeake Bay, Williamsburg, Jamestown, Cape Henry. It's all right in the backyard. I have a very tenuous grasp of the regional history as well as national history, and I was born and raised in this area. Like sometimes I'm like, now which one was Jamestown again? Now who was up there? Which one? I know Pocahontas was involved. Was that Williamsburg? I cannot honestly for life of me remember.
You're like elementary school field trips were like to the actual historical sites. Mine were like we go to Epcot. You know what I mean? Like
I in my neighborhood, like I could walk to a house that is is one of the top 5 oldest houses in America. It's like a walk away, and I've never even been there. Like, school field trips pull up, and I'm like, I've never really had a reason to go.
All right, well, listen,
I got yelled at by a reenactor as a student, and that
you got yelled at by a reenactor.
I still remember what happened. I remember it was like a Revolutionary War it's like a Revolutionary War reenactor. I was like in like 5th or 6th grade.
What did you do?
And, he has a musket at this reenactment. And I was like, hey, I was kind of cutting up a little. I was living up to my namesake. Jesse's were wild cards, And I was like, hey, man, that musket loaded. And he's like, sir, and he's doing a dumb fake revolutionary time British accent. But he basically told me, he's like, there's no point in having a musket if it's not, ready and loaded. And so a couple hours later, he does this demonstration how you pack it and load it, and he pulled the trigger, and obviously nothing happened because fake musket. I was like, from the back, I was like, I thought it was loaded, and then just everyone like snickers, and we got a little talking to, and I had to wait on the bus for a while, but it was worth it.
Listen, bro,
that's how it begins.
You don't talk trash to a person with a musket.
No,
like if a person is that committed that they walking around with a musket, you gonna mess around and go get some buckshot in your butt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go, bow. You know what I mean? I don't want you to get buckshots. So just, y'all don't talk bad to people with muskets.
Yeah, it's probably good advice.
Listen, we have a great show coming up. Aaron Cole joins us. He released a great album last week. Hip hop artist. The dude can sing. He can rap. Yeah, it's a fantastic album. Really, really good.
He baby Michael Jackson or baby Chris Brown.
There you go.
Yeah,
I like it. Anyway, he's coming up later. And we also have your question of the week feedback about water mishaps. You do not want to miss that. But before we get rolling, since this is Emily's been on the show a bunch. She does a lot of the interviews. She's joined us. I mean, last week she was on Epic Battle, but this is the first time she sat in for the whole show. And so, listeners may be like, who is this person from Nacogdoches? I don't know her. So I thought we would take a minute and ask her some table topics questions to get to know downtown Emily Brown. All right, Emily, you ready?
So ready.
Okay, here we go. Which 3 words would you use to describe yourself? 3 words.
I mean, personally, funny.
Okay.
Curious.
Okay.
I Google everything, anything and everything.
That is very true. Like during our editorial meetings, staff meetings, we'll be thinking like, what's the thing? And she's just like, ta, 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 ta. She's like fact checking in the
Yeah,
middle
you
of
can
the
like
meeting.
hear my little fingers typing. And
Curious, funny. I like both of those.
I'd like to think I'm friendly, but that also just might be a Texas thing where we're like all friendly. But I'll still claim it. I'll claim it.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, I was really hoping you weren't going to ask me this. It depends on my mood because, you got to be in the right mood.
Emily has famously watched every cheesy Christian movie that's
Not
been made.
every, but way too many. I will say that.
Well, can we
true.
get 2 categories? Your favorite movie, and then what's the best of the bunch in terms of if I'm sitting down and I got the Left Behind series in front of me, The God's Not Dead,
The Fireproofs.
Awake. Yeah, if I got all those, I want to hear both. I want to hear Christian and your
Regular.
standard.
Okay. I'll go. Okay. So one of my favorite movies, this is actually my comfort movie. So if I'm in like a sad mood, I will put this movie on. It is The Goonies. It just immediately lifts my
Classic.
spirits. So
Really?
good. Yes.
But they like make fun of like the guy who has the handicaps and stuff. I always feel bad. The 80s.
He's a hero. He's a hero.
They
of
love
the,
sloth.
He was a hero of the film.
I've only seen
They
it
like
once.
take
I don't know.
You've only seen it once? That makes me sad.
And I was an adult, so I was just like, eh. Like
Yeah,
everybody talks Goonies up, so finally, I put it on to show it to my kid, and I was just like, "What's all the hype about? It's not that good of a movie."
The Goonies was it would never, that movie would never come out in 2021. We'll just put it that way.
Well,
Right.
but to be fair, there's a lot of films, I mean, even ones that don't have the things that I think we've, collectively as a society determined are hurtful to different demographics. Some of them are just dark. Like Stand By Me is about children finding a dead body. Like
that one is sad.
It's rough.
you know what I mean?
It's
Like that would not be, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, let's go watch Stand By Me. That's about a bunch of 7-year-olds. Yeah. They're hiking into the woods to talk about childhood trauma, abuse, alcoholism, and search for a dead body. Like I have a pretty strong feeling that's not getting greenlit for Disney Plus in 2022 here. Yeah.
I hope not. Yeah.
So what's your pick for best cheesy Christian movie?
Okay. I'm glad you asked.
Why does it have to be cheesy Christian? Why
They're
can't it
all
just be
cheesy Christian
movie?
movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen a good Christian movie?
I haven't seen a Christian movie.
There you go.
I have a full list. Okay. So it got a lot of bad rap whenever y'all talked about this a couple weeks ago. I liked Christian Mingle. I thought it was funny. It was definitely very cheesy. I couldn't get over the fact that Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls was the main character.
Yeah.
That just feels like such a big fall, but I thought it was hilarious. It's just terrible. Like it's so bad that it turns into good. So that would be my pick.
What?
Christian Mingle.
At one point, so she fakes being a Christian. Let me just say this. She fakes being a Christian.
Okay.
And to research being a Christian, they have a whole scene where she's in a library reading the book Christianity for Dummies. That's funny. Whoever came up with that, I think that's hilarious. That she's like,
all right. So was this made by Christians to or was it made to poke fun at Christians, or was it made by Christians for Christian entertainment?
Oh, it was definitely made for Christian entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of really, really bad. So you kind of laugh at it rather than with it.
Yes. Yeah. And that's most Christian movies. Again, no offense if you're a fan, but there's just I can't think of a single good Christian movie. So you have to laugh at them.
Oh God.
Right. You watch it.
Why do you watch them?
Why do you look at a car wreck on the side of the road? You just got to. You're morbidly curious. Like you want to see what's going on.
Sometimes I watch terrible movies to feel better about myself because it's at least I'm not making this kind of movie.
I will say if people are looking for an actual Christian movie that is enjoyable to watch and it's not the perfect film and it's a documentary to be fair, but it's called Holy Rollers: The True Story of the Card Counting Christians. That is one of the most fascinating documentaries I've ever seen. It's I can't picture any Christian being upset by the subject matter because it deals pretty head on with, the moral tensions of the protagonist, which, as you can guess, are train themselves in the art of card counting. But their reason is they're church planners and they run out of money to fund their ministry. And so they come up with this scheme to, as they call it, liberate the devil's money. And that by going into casinos and becoming some of the prolific card counters in modern history. Great documentary if you're looking for a fun Christian movie.
What's the name of it?
That's a good one.
Holy Rollers.
Holy Rollers.
Liberating the devil's money into my bank account.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
What
Good
celebrity would you like to spend the afternoon with?
Oh my, every single one.
Derek Minor.
I'll go with Harry Styles because I just bought tickets to his concert yesterday.
Nice. What's
cool.
the biggest lie you told as a child?
My parents are listening to this. I'm trying to think. I actually, did I lie? I probably told my parents I was going somewhere I wasn't actually going. I really didn't. I'm like pretty honest with my parents. They trust me a lot for some reason. So,
what did you do that drove your parents crazy?
Talked back to them a lot. Like a lot. Still do. Sorry, parents.
What are you addicted to?
Celebrity gossip.
Nice.
That's reasonably,
It kind of works for your
healthy
job.
addiction.
It kind of
Yeah,
works
it's
for your
my job.
job.
But I'm talking like there are things I know about celebrities. No one will ever ask me about them. But
Okay. Can I ask you, like, I want to know,
Question.
I want to know, like, the most underrated, juicy celebrity gossip tidbit that you feel like you find fascinating, but almost no one else knows.
I feel like that's a lot of it. I feel like I need a specific celebrity.
Okay. Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. I feel like I know something weird about him.
There's so many weird things about him.
Yeah.
He owns a pyramid in New Orleans.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like, I also know a lot of like the relationships. Like I don't know why I remember who like all the Kardashians have dated. No one's going to ask me that. But if you need to know, just text me and I will tell you.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
I've never done anything embarrassing ever, so can't really answer that.
Do you have more mother or father issues?
What kind
Because we have them both
Who
on.
wrote these questions?
We have them both on Zoom. Clark, bring them on. Bring on Emily's parents.
What the world?
Next question, please.
What is your blood type? What is your social security number?
What's the best and worst thing about being an adult?
The worst part is you got to pay for everything. That is just truly awful. But the best part is you can buy whatever you want and no one can be mad at you. AKA me buying Harry Styles tickets yesterday.
That's because you're single. If you're married, then you
Okay.
will have somebody.
Why do we got to bring
be
that
mad
up?
at you. What? Everybody was single at one point. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true.
Did you ever throw away an item you wish you'd saved? What was it?
Yeah, I'm actually weirdly sentimental. So there's stuff that like when I moved out of my parents' house, I got rid of just like some childhood keepsakes that I'm like, I wish I would have kept those. I can't think of anything specific, but just in general.
All right. Last question. What's the funniest thing your inner child wants? Like currently? Like, see, for me, it'd be like to go to outer space. Like I as an adult.
Oh my gosh.
I want to go to outer space.
I want to go to outer space so badly. I would, if anyone's listening and can get me to space, I will go tomorrow. Yeah, I'll definitely go to space.
Can I? All right. I know we've talked about this a lot, but people are going to almost space now. Is that what you guys want? Like,
no, launch me to Mars. And you can leave
I'm not
me
doing
there.
edge of space. I'm not doing edge of space.
That's a one-way ticket though, guys.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Did you say okay?
What a way to go, like
I want an orbit situation. I want to lap the Earth. I don't want to go up for 4 minutes and come down. That's not. That's not good enough.
You want to do like what NASA does, right?
Well, I mean, they had a crew. SpaceX had a crew a couple weeks ago that were up there for 3 days. They orbited the Earth for 3 days and they came back. That feels like it's worth the effort. Like, give me that
Right.
kind of a trip in a few years. Yeah.
What does that accomplish, though? Well, like when they're up there, it's like, all right, mission accomplished. What'd you guys do? I mean, I don't know. Just kind of looked around for a few.
For the rest of your life, you get to say that you were in space for 3 days.
Cool.
It's just bragging rights. I
Cool.
think.
But if someone came up to me and was like, hey man, I was in space for 3 days, I almost think less of them. Like, because I'm like, you're the type of, like, what did you get? Are you related to like some sort of Russian billionaire? Like, it's very little chances you're an astronaut, like from NASA. Even then, it's like, okay, if that was my singular mission in life, I could probably have gone to space if I wanted to. Just never had the desire. I mean, I don't go bragging to other people like, hey, cool, you went to space. Oh, cool. I record a podcast. Great. You do you, I do me. One day everyone's going to be up in space. Who cares? That's my take.
Yeah, I think you're going to get left behind, man. I think as society has said, hey, this is a good thing. And you're going to be
I'm
like
good.
this
Right
old
here,
curmudgeon.
I'm
Like, oh,
right
you
here on
space
planet
kids.
Earth.
Jesse,
Yeah,
would
right
you say
here
that
on-
you're anti-space? Because I'm kind of getting that vibe.
He and I
Very
went to
much.
space camp a few years ago,
Ugh.
and he was anti-space at space camp. How?
Pause.
I tried to sabotage the experience for everyone.
What do you do
And
at space camp?
What don't you do at space camp?
Do you go to space?
You do all the training that the astronauts do. You do the water tank, space suits. You do all the gyroscope things. You do all the stuff. You have like a flight suit and you have missions. There was a simulator, a space shuttle simulator, and we all had different roles. And Jesse was the
Commander.
pilot. He was the commander. And it was a whole thing. We went because of Nat Geo. They sent us.
Emily, they just didn't appreciate that they had a commander who likes to play by his own rules and maybe cut a corner here. But did I land the shuttle safely? Sure.
Kind of.
Were the bay doors open and did we land deep into a swamp? Yes. But did my team have fun?
This is
Probably not,
true.
because they were all yelling at me the entire time.
They were
But-
yelling at him because mission control, like things happen during your mission and you have to solve them. So you have to communicate with mission control and stuff like that. And like all these lights were flashing and stuff. And Jesse's the commander and he's like, and they have a script and they're trying to help him solve it. And Jesse, like, he's like, problem solved. And then they're like, problem was not solved. They're like, he's just winging it. And then he lands us and we like ricochet, the space shuttle ricochets and you can see the footage and we go off the runway. We smash into the trees. And then we look and it zooms out and he never closed the cargo doors on the top of the space shuttle. So he's landing
First
and our
time
doors
anyone's
are
ever
open.
done that. First time. That should be celebrated. That should be celebrated.
I mean, that sound like, to be honest, this sound pretty cool and crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I picture like a Back to the Future type thing. You know what I'm saying? With some slick back hair, you just come in with the cargo doors wide open. With
My
some,
favorite thing
red
was
hot.
the spacewalk. I mean, because they had like you get into an actual like out, the actual spacewalk rig, and then they have this kind of zero gravity kind of pulley system, and so you can actually like bounce around like you're in space and stuff. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. Anyway, all right.
That's
We got
dope.
a lot to do. Stay tuned. Coming up next, it's Relevant News.
What you like to do when you're in the mood? One look in your eyes and I see true. How about dinner on the moon? Dinner on the roof. Stare up at the sky and all is new. And it all comes back to me.
You're listening to Wavy. The song is Brain Gain. Well, today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. Is something preventing you from being happy or achieving your goals or keeping you from experiencing peace? With the heaviness of all that's happening in our world, it can be difficult to find purpose and joy sometimes. And that's why there's BetterHelp. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You connect in a safe and private online environment. You can start communicating in under 24 hours, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. And of course, you can message your counselor anytime. To top it all off, BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a Relevant Podcast listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/relevant. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/relevant. Okay, it's time for
Relevant News.
Please welcome to the show, Relevant senior editor and Emily's boss, Tyler Huckabee, telling us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, boss.
my two identities, senior editor and boss.
Emily's boss. What's going on this week?
All right. So, well, speaking of bosses, actually, I wanted to bring a little bit of context to a story that I feel like is getting talked about kind of in the meme, being memed a lot, but maybe there's not a lot of understanding of or context around. And that's this thing you may have seen these like signs about how nobody wants to work. The kids these days just don't want to work. The positions being left open at Taco Bell for weeks at a time, but the bosses just can't find enough people to hire to work these jobs. And it's being called by economists the Great Resignation is this name that's being given. And to a certain extent, there is some truth to the fact that there's a lot of open positions right now. But the case, when you dig under the hood a little bit, things aren't actually quite as bleak or as negative around this as they look. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I refer to these signs that are going around, these pictures like you can't get into McDonald's? Yeah.
It's all over it. My favorite taco spot in my neighborhood shut down for a month and a half because they couldn't find any workers. They just reopened because it's crazy.
I'm super excited to hear what you have to say, because I posted a tweet not long ago. I'm like, someone help me out with this, like, because there's no way it's just people just sitting at home, just not doing anything and just living off of federal stimulus money, because they ain't gave us over $6. Yeah, they gave us it was like $6. So.
It went quick.
So I'm glad you're curious, because there's a lot going on here, and we're kind of still in the middle of it. So we need to be careful about weighing in with too much like definitive information about a trend that is ongoing. But there is a little more to the story than just signs on the front doors of McDonald's saying we can't open right now because there aren't enough workers. Now, first off, what is true is that there are a record-breaking number of Americans voluntarily have decided to part ways with their job over the course of this year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They call these people the quits, which is a pretty negative word for it, and an unprecedented number of people.
After I had tacos last week, I had the quits, and it was.
It sounds like the quits. Yeah, it sounds like something you get.
Some rookies in the kitchen there, obviously, because it was. Let me just say this:
rough evening.
Evidently undercooked and overseasoned.
You don't want the quits. I'll tell you that.
In August alone, 7% of employees in the accommodation and food services alone quit. That's just one field. And 7%, that's like 1 in 14 people in those industries in a single month left their jobs.
Where are they going?
It is big. So that's the question, right? Where are these people going, or why are they going? So one big thing that is being sort of underexplored here, but that is true when they started interviewing these people, is this growing, it's being called the Great Rudeness, which is over the course of 2020 and early 2021, there was a huge shift in the number of negative customer interactions these people were having. People they're mad about mask mandates, they're mad about vaccines, they don't have a negative COVID test, they start ranting in the aisles of the Whole Foods, or they don't want to wear their mask while they're going in to sit down at Taco Bell. And at some point, a huge number of people working in these industries were like, I'm not being paid enough to deal with these people. I need to find something that isn't forward facing, because, you're not making a ton of money at Pizza Hut, and you are having to deal with, as a 18, 19-year-old, some very angry, very old, possibly sort of like at least verbally violent people. And that's just not something that's healthy for these people to do. So they leave to find places where they don't have to deal with that.
Are they going to like more like gig economy work? Because like the idea of working as hard as you work in the food service industry for basically minimum wage, more often than not, there are so many other options now. You could drive for Uber Eats and stuff like that and make more money. Is it the shift, like they're going that way?
So that's sort of what it's tied to that a little bit. And this sort of, especially now that there are so many opportunities for people to work at home, people want to find those jobs. That's very appealing to people. The idea of not having the office or your workplace being the primary centerpiece of your day-to-day life provides for a lot of people, especially younger people who aren't used to going into the office, it's much easier to find a way to navigate a healthy work-life balance because they can work from home, put in their hours, get their time done, and then be around their family or their roommates or go do something else. They don't have to worry about the commute, and they don't have to worry about hanging out with, like in Emily's case, a boss who maybe is trying to drain them for more time than they're actually being paid to do. Or they can just turn off their computer. It's not that big of. It's much easier to put up boundaries between work and life when you're not having to worry about an actual physical space that
and
you're
you can make more money. I mean, you can work. You can do part-time work for Amazon from home doing customer service emails and make $20 an hour. I mean, you don't have to work minimum wage at McDonald's anymore,
I love stories like this, Tyler. I'm glad you brought it because I feel like, there's real value in reading beyond headlines and not just looking at anecdotal evidence and presuming that it means one thing when it actually might be indicative of another trend. Like maybe it's not a great resignation. Maybe it's a great migration of, work in physical places to all like, I had an idea.
But what's going to happen to the restaurants? I mean, like my closest Chick-fil-A closed their dining room because Chick-fil-A can't hire enough workers to have the dining room open. I mean, it's just like, what's going to happen to restaurants? Like they can't get workers, and I like to eat food. There is going to
have to be a shift, and this is true. There is going to have to be a shift in how these places just operate or think about their bottom dollar. The place that's able to crack that, is able to figure out how do we pay people enough, or how do we make our jobs worth it for people to take these jobs? Can we do it financially, or can we provide more space between them and bad customers so that this can be a positive work experience instead of a consistently negative one?
Well, and I think it's also going to be an accelerant to a pre-existing trend, which is automation in, physical consumption places. I mean, Amazon's already testing stores most grocery stores you go into now, you can do your whole thing without interacting with an actual employee. Like you just go through the self-checkout line. Or, Amazon has that store they're testing out where you just put it in your cart and it charges your account and you walk out the door. Obviously someone's got to stock the shelves, but more and more are moving, especially jobs that require face-to-face interactions in retail spaces are already moving towards automation. I mean, if you go to we have one of those new Taco Bell kind of bistro type of situations near me, and you go in and you just type things on a screen, put in your card, and your food comes out on the counter. I feel like a lot of those interactions that are causing so many headaches and, the verbal abuse that a lot of these workers are subjected to. In a lot of places, automation is replacing those face-to-face interactions. And the businesses that can crack the nut for them first, I think are the ones that are going to make it through,
There is this idea that you've maybe, or at least that I heard a lot, I think a lot of people did, like my grandpa worked one job his entire, he was a 40-year company man, and they gave him a gold watch at the end of his time there, and that's the way it was in the old days. And I looked into that a little bit when I was doing some research on this story. It turns out that's just, the data just doesn't back that up. Actually, back in the 60s and 70s, people would change jobs more than they have over the last 20 years, more than millennials did, because there was just more freedom to do so. The economy was in better shape than it is these days. You were able to have a little more time to find a job that you wanted to. It didn't feel quite so precarious to jump from career to career like it has in large part over the last 15, 20 years here. And there's some speculation among some economists that maybe that's what we're going back to now is you try a career on, you see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, if you're not happy in it, then there's a little more financial freedom right now, especially with pandemic era loans, which you can't live off of long term, but can give you a little bit of a cushion if you want to go try to find something else that's a little bit better for your overall well-being.
Well, the stats have been for the last decade or more that in your 20s, the average person has 7 jobs in your 20s. In those 10 years, 7 different jobs, which I paid a lot of attention to because we have a staff in their 20s historically. And, and so that 1 or 2 year window is pretty much what we would get for most of the staff. And I was like, man, is that us? Well, no, this is normal. This is just the trend. But it seems like what's happening now is specifically affecting certain industries, like the food and retail industries, like you're saying, the customer interaction industries.
Front facing.
Yeah, front facing is those are the industries that people are just leaving and going to other industries. And my thing is other than your automation thing, like, what are they going to do? You know,
Sure.
I don't see anybody like aspiring to get a minimum wage job at Taco Bell, you know?
Well, and the thing is, like, I think big chains like Taco Bell, McDonald's, I'm not as worried about them as I am about like local restaurants.
Like my favorite taco spot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that have shut down.
Yeah, and it's because you have that issue, but then you also have supply chain issues.
Right.
Like, I mean, if I don't know who does the grocery shopping at you guys' house, but my wife was telling me, she was like, beef is almost doubled in price. You know, in certain places. Like one of our favorite spots, it's a chain, but it's called Jim and Nick's. And they were just like, yo, we just don't have any brisket. We went one day and it was like, we don't have any brisket. It's just too expensive right now at the moment. So supply chain issues and not having people to work, like, man, that's going to hurt if we don't figure this out pretty quick.
But I do feel like the other thing that I've read, I can't remember what outlet, but they were talking about how the supply chain thing, you know, basically the long story short is, this could signal a move away from globalization and the dependency on, you know, like we get a lot of, you know, obviously consumer goods from China. We get meat from here, cows, you know, food comes from here, milk comes from here, all this stuff, you know, where it's probably going to be more localized again. You know, the frailty of the global supply chain has been exposed. Like, oh, one bad thing could happen and it could have ripple effects for years. And so, you know, what that might do is we'll see more restaurants that are supplied locally, and then it's more people working at local farms and local sources of food, and you suddenly see sort of the more localized the job gets, the more likely you're able to find, you know, people to work there because there's more of a personal touch and they can kind of put their own twist and they're not dependent on factors that are completely outside of their control. And, you know, the move away from globalization may actually kind of, I don't want to say solve these problems, but transition the way, or you know, it might change the way people think about a lot of these different kind of restaurants and the jobs associated with them.
I love it. I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's amazing.
All right. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. Follow Relevant on all the socials. We're putting out great content every day. And make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com. Hey, thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, boss.
All right. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Aaron Cole joins us. You're listening to Remy Wolf. The song is Street You Live On. Well, today's episode is brought to you by podcast creation platform Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. There are custom tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every major platform. The cool thing is you can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Well, Aaron Cole joins us today. He's a Christian hip hop artist who just released his second album called 2 Up, 2 Down. He's already won the Dove Award for New Artist of the Year. He's had songs featured on Netflix's On My Block and been named Top Gospel Artist to Watch by Essence Magazine. Aaron sat down with our very own Tyler Huckabee to discuss his journey to becoming an artist, the lessons he's had to learn and relearn along the way, and more. Here's our conversation with Aaron Cole.
Yeah, they already know the state the city blessed. Yeah, I've been playing up when I flex. Everybody can't always stay the shit, bro. If your family don't matter, then your wins low. Cause we been in the back since Rosa Parks. Way before arenas in the charts. Yeah, the energy around me been bizarre.
I'm from Bristol, Virginia, born and raised. So my dad had a studio back in our hometown, and it was just like a home studio setup. Like we used like a church mic and this software called Hip Hop EJ4. So different artists and stuff like that would come in and out of the studio, and me at like 2 or 3 just looking up to my pops. Like I started mocking people's lyrics, like sitting into sessions. And my uncle used to be a Christian rapper. And so when he had his sessions, like I made sure I was in every one of his sessions. I started rapping like whole verses to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they were like, all right, let's give him a shot. And so they started writing me like stuff at like 3 or 4. I would memorize them and record them and do shows. I was doing shows in my city and stuff like that. And I grew up in church, so I would be performing in churches all the time, the whole 9. And then I turned 12. And that's when I said, like, I really gave my life to God for myself. And that's when I got serious about it. I was like, this is what I want to do. I'll never forget, like, I came home, I told my dad, like, yo, this is what I wanted to do. He was like, well, no, if this is what you want to do, like, you can't be like everybody else. You can't do everything else that, you know what I'm saying, everybody else is doing. And he was right.
About to drop the album with 1 miss. My dogs got to fight, we like Mike Vick. Yeah. Oh my God. The new view is so unique. So unique. My team just set a piece. Formula discreet.
I remember I was sitting in my room. I walked into the living room. My pops was like, I need you to write me a hit. And what does that mean to a 15-year-old? But I was like, okay, cool. So I wrote this song called 15 is the New 15. And I did this project, 15 is the New 15. And that was the project that Toby heard to sign me. I'm just hyped at the fact that it's like, okay, somebody's interested in me. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know Toby Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that Toby Mac is Toby Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't put out artists until they're 18. And I was 15 at the time. It was like 2 or 3 years before I came out, just in the studios, writing songs and stuff like that. And I'll say, like, in that time, like, it was really like it was needed. Like, Toby was right. Like, I learned so much about just like character. It really shaped like just who I am today to be like able to handle all this stuff that's going on. So
I had to cook. I ain't want to end up like Lenny Cook. I am a vet. I give a tech to any rook. I can't get comfortable even though that I really could. And we up, so it's good. Like, oh, I had to cook. Ain't want to end up like Lenny Cook. I am a vet. I give a tech to any rook.
All right, so this album, it's obviously not a concept album or anything, but if there was like a theme to it or an overarching message to it, what would that be?
I think for me, starting this album was right after I had won the Dove Award, the New Artist of the Year Award. Nobody expected me to win that, you know what I'm saying? I still had the number ones, all that stuff. Like, I was in a good place. I had put out Not By Chance. Like, that did well. I was just in a place of where I feel like I achieved a lot of the things that I said I was going to achieve. Not everything. I'm still not where I'm going to be, but I achieved a lot of the things that I said I was going to achieve. And in that process, like, I didn't know what to do with myself because I put a lot of my identity in what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put a lot of my identity in, like, okay, I'm Aaron Cole, the artist, rather than, you know what I'm saying, I'm just Aaron. Like, to my family, I'm just Aaron. To my girl, I'm just Aaron. To my friends, I'm just Aaron. And so I came across everywhere, like, I'm Aaron Cole, and I put my identity in that. And so I think with this album, it took me, which is like, I feel like the whole concept of like, if you listen to it, every song, like, of remembering who you are and remembering where you came from. You know what I'm saying? It took me remembering where I came from to keep going, like remembering why I do what I do, my family, my city, you know what I'm saying, all that, the whole 9. So I feel like that's the most, you know what I'm saying, best way to say it is like, man, remember who you are, remember where you came from. There's a scripture, I think in 1 John, that was saying like, you dear children are from God. So it's like, I was like, man, if I'm from God, I should act like I'm from God. I should talk like I'm from God.
I'm trying not to lose my mind. Eyes in the rear view all the time. See release for my life on the line. Instincts make me wanna just run. I'm trying to make it home to the moms. Trying to praise God with the rhymes. Running light, ain't no need for a gun. One bad move and I'm done. Trying to keep calling me. Yeah, she adoring me. I don't wanna fall. Yeah, you a dog, but please do not talk to me.
You have any songs on it you're particularly proud of or that were particularly challenging and rewarding to get finished?
My favorite song is probably Leave Me with Jay Moss. I think two reasons. One, because I got Jay Moss on a record. Like that was crazy to me. I got Jay Moss on a song with me, and he went crazy. Like he didn't like just give me like, okay, I'm gonna do the work for you. Like nah, he went crazy. Two, I think that was one of the most vulnerable songs like I've probably ever written or, you know what I'm saying, sung. Cause I'm usually like, man, it gotta be a smash. It gotta have everything right, everything perfect, you know what I'm saying? The right amount of hooks in it so the people, you know what I'm saying, love it. The right amount of, you know what I'm saying, the verses gotta be short enough for people to get back to the hook. Like I'm always thinking about that. And I think Leave Me, it just kind of happened. So like I was working with Greg Cox, who is the producer. He's also going on tour with me. We was working on a totally different song. Like it was just some other song. And I started doing the melody for Leave Me. Like I was like, but that was on the other record. And he just stopped and he was like, oh no, that's something else. And he just started playing like those keys. And so I started singing to it. And it probably took us 30 minutes to an hour to write that song. And just the concept of people are going to let you down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that are attracted to the height of stuff. So like when you're up at your best and you're, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But it's like, who are those people that's going to be with you when you're at your lowest? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's only our family, or sometimes it's only those friends that's been there since day one. But it's like, even those people can still be trash friends at the end of the day. And it's like the only person, that's why at the end, it's like, I say I need thee, because it's like the only person that really never leaves is God. So that's probably my favorite song.
Oh, you need me. Only talk to me when you need me. Here right now, cause it's easy. When I'm down, are you gonna leave me? Oh, leave me. Free me. When I told a dream.
That was Aaron Cole. Check out his new album, 2 Up, 2 Down. It's out now. It's really good. It's like really good. Go check it out. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. You're listening to Ralph Castelli. The song is Pretend. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we were talking about haunted house, hell house stories, stuff like that. That was traumatic. We wanted to lighten it up, and we got talking about water mishaps. Yes, Derek, we ended up talking about the way the duck boat thing happened was Jamie's house was flooded, like her area, and there's like her road that got in and out of her neighborhood was flooded. We sent you that picture. And so Jesse suggested that she should buy a duck boat that could go on land and water for these floods that happen apparently very regularly there where she lives. And so she could give the neighbors a ride across the river. That's how that all happened. Anyway, it got us talking about water mishaps, boat mishaps. And that was the question of the week last week. We wanted to know your water mishap stories. You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and elsewhere that we asked the question. And here's a few of our favorite replies.
This one really seems, wow. I'm shocked at some of these. You know, I once T-boned
a lot of water trauma.
I was going to say, because I've always wondered, like, hey, I was in a boating accident. Boats seem like a very difficult. You're in open water, okay? Like, I can literally see you from a mile away, okay? Right. That's not figuratively on the open water. Hey, there's a boat way up there. Let's do everything we can not to collide with him. Considering we're not on a road with lane lines and I can literally go anywhere as far as the eye can see, I think avoiding that other boat way over there will not be a problem. Like, that is the least thing I'm concerned about when boating is like, man, I hope I don't don't hit another boat because,
Well,
like
tell
I
that
said,
to the Titanic because they hit an iceberg. So
exactly, but they didn't hit another boat. They at least that kind of snuck up on them. You know, like they never say, "Man, that's only the tip of the boat." No, the entire boat's out of the water. It's floating. Okay, like it's not camouflaged. Okay. Anyway, this is from Jeremy Copeland. With that in mind, I once T-boned a ski boat with a friend's wave runner. Me and my passenger went airborne over the boat. I came up from underwater with pieces of wave runner all around me. This is my first and last wave runner experience. It's not over. When I was about 9 or 10, my dad pulled our boat onto the trailer and then asked me to pull the truck up out of the launch area. When he's 9 or 10, I went for it, but nearly sunk the boat, trailer, and truck all at once. Saw water directly out my side window and dad splashing next to me. I'll be honest, you put a 9-year-old kid
behind the wheel. Yeah.
You're kind of asking for it there, Pops. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had 2 very traumatic water experiences. Smashing
he needs to stay on land. Yeah.
Yes. He's a land animal now.
I like this one from David Renault. So he says, at camp, I got the genius idea of riding a zip line into the lake. The moment I launched, I fell off the 10-foot platform and landed on my face into the water. They caught it on film and played it on slow-mo multiple times on the highlight reel.
Oh.
And that's just, that's so sorry.
That's trauma.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
That's
just
awful.
multiple times because like everyone at camp sees it.
Yeah.
And they probably put like some edits on it, like back and forth kind of thing.
Yep. Poor guy.
Yeah. So my man Ben Stroop said he was riding on the back of a jet ski with an inexperienced rider who crashed into a parked boat. And I flew overhead and landed face first on the motor of another boat. Police and insurance were called. It was a calamity, and it was the youth group fall kickoff. So boats and youth groups apparently are not working well, like camps. Let's leave boats in that. And then he says, honestly, it was an excellent foreshadowing for the entire internship, which included a 30-hour famine where we all skipped a breakfast meal to go to Chipotle, and we were supposed to take yards, but I never organized gathering rakes. We're supposed to rake yards, so I never organized gathering rakes. So
wouldn't you love it if you're like the elderly person at the church? Like you're the elderly woman at the church. You're like, oh, the youth group kids are coming from my yard today. And it's just covered in leaves and they show up. Nobody's got rakes. And you're like, you need those leaves removed, and you're just going to have them do it by hand, the old-fashioned way. Just pick up the leaves one by one, children. You're going to be here all day. Yeah,
Did you see Emily Rise? Emily said whitewater rafting with coworkers. Okay, so hear this story with a boat full of your coworkers. Okay, whitewater rafting with coworkers, and got tossed into the rapids and caught by another boat at the end. But when they dipped down into the water to pull me out, I felt my pants get sucked down to my ankles, ended up with my head at the bottom of the boat and my bare booty high in the air. Dead.
Who hasn't? Who among us has that not happened to? Who among us has not gone on a leisurely whitewater rafting trip with friends and family and ended up bottomless? I mean,
friends and family, coworkers.
And imagine the person in that boat who's reaching down to pull this person out from under the water, and a big old bare butt comes up. like, what are you grabbing? Like, I'm not grabbing anything at that point. Just like,
how do you go into work the next day? Just like after that, do you just ignore it?
You have a very intimate relationship with your coworkers now because they just saw your butt.
Yeah, you find a new at that point you become part of the great resignation and just find
the great resignation. I'm done.
This one I kind of get. Okay, so this is from Jordan, and he said, my family was going on a, quote, pirate tour on a boat in North Carolina. A worker came up to us and said to me and my siblings, the crew asked you to stop, all caps, singing the Gilligan's Island theme song. He was dead serious. Now, I'm guessing it's just because they hear it all the time. Like probably, I would say at least half the boat tours probably start singing that at some point and they're just tired of it. It's like when someone in the Facebook comments responds with more like irrelevant magazine. It's not that it annoys you. You just heard it so much. You're like, can you just stop? Please stop.
Yeah, just stop. You're not clever.
This one, I'm like, we have to say this one, y'all.
All right.
This is from Thunkers Thinkers. So
I'm in.
Just off
That's
the
a bird's
top,
name.
off the top, that name lets me know this is about to be a wild story. But anyway, don't particularly like water, don't swim well, but don't trust life jackets. So there's an issue here, but we just go keep going. He said, but I still find a way to get on boats.
How do you not trust life jackets if you don't swim well?
I'm like,
Why don't you trust life jackets?
why don't you trust life? What did life jackets do to
I
you?
wanted-
they do?
something happened. There's a story there.
A
that we're
life
not
jacket
going
can't
into.
not work. It floats. I mean, it's not like I have a broken one and I died. I mean, like,
I'm just a messenger. So,
I don't trust them.
Thucker Stickers said, the week after graduating from college, I decided to go boating with friends. The day was great and I didn't want to leave, but friends beached the boat to wait around. So I don't know what that means. Maybe that's some
You
water
pull
term.
up to like a sandbar or something like that, and then you can get out and walk around, chill. You know,
Okay,
a lot of sandbars or islands will have that where like boats just pull up. You know,
Yeah, you beach the
Okay.
boat. You know.
yeah.
Okay, but I don't swim, and so I don't know anything about this.
Do you trust life jackets?
I don't swim, so I don't have to trust life jackets. I
you
just
go.
don't get on
There you go.
boats.
There it
I
is.
just don't get on boats. Yeah. So yeah, I've only been on one cruise, and it wasn't good. Anyway, I'm sorry. Moving on. So I finished taking a phone call and went to jump off the back of the boat to get in the water. I didn't jump far enough, and my heel came down on the boat propeller. Sliced it wide open, screamed a little, got back in the boat, had to end the day. Also, don't like doctors. So instead of going to get stitches, we cleaned it up and wrapped paper towels and duct tape around it for a 2-hour drive back home. Definitely should have gone to a doctor, but won't forget
Definitely.
the water boat story, and was in much pain while moving into my second floor apartment 2 weeks later. Stunker Stinkers, listen, I'm going to need you to stop taking so many risks, knowing that you don't like the things that prevent you from getting hurt. Like, if you don't like life jackets, you need to stay out the water. And if you don't like doctors, you need to stop jumping over spinning propellers. You got to stop.
Yeah.
You come on, man.
I want to know, what does he
come on,
like?
y'all.
Because there's a lot of things he doesn't like.
Yeah.
That I feel
Yeah.
like we should maybe work on that.
All right. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. Go check it out at Relevant Podcast Twitter account. You should go read them. They're funny. Okay. It's time for
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
All right. Well, it's that time of year. And next Friday, when we do your feedback, it'll be the last Friday before Halloween. And so a lot of people will be looking for those last minute ideas. And so that's what we want for this week's question of the week. We want to know your timely 2021 costume ideas. The more clever, the more of a reference to a cultural phenomenon, the better. That's what we want. We want what are you going as for Halloween this year? Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast or wherever you see us post the question, and we will read our favorites on next week's show.
I want to go as this. I like scary costumes, so I'm going to go as the scariest thing in America. A school board member. Oh my gosh! No, I would know. I got a great couple. I got a great couple's costume. One be the rise and one be the fall of Mark Driscoll. Like, you have one that is like the big toxic masculinity, Mark Driscoll, and then the one that's like post, kind of charismatic-y, weird Mark Driscoll that's picking fights on Instagram. The rise and fall of Mark Driscoll on for your couple's costume. What do you guys think?
That's a deep cut.
Yikes. You gonna get an email about that one, dog.
Bring it. Please send it.
Well, before we wrap up, I want to thank Aaron Cole for joining us today. Go check out his new album. You'll love it. Honestly, it's really good. We've been talking about it in staff meeting. Also, make sure to check out the fall issue of Relevant. It's out now. It's available at relevantmagazine.com. You just click right there on the magazine tab. It's an amazing collection of content, and it's presented ad-free by UHSM. Go check it out. While you're on the site, you can also sign up for our daily newsletter right there on the front page, where we bring you the top 5 trending stories at Relevant every morning. You can head over to the faith section, where you can check out our daily devotional, Deeper Walk devotional presented by Lumo. And for all the latest, make sure to follow Relevant on all the socials. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're doing a bunch of stuff. I think you'll like it. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Derek Miner.
We will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
You go to your room, Nagadocious.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.